Retail and hospitality is changing, with often complex and fragmented systems combined with large volumes of customer data for businesses to make sense of. It's critical to work with the right partners in order to guarantee success. At Tratec Consulting, we help retail and hospitality businesses transform their technology, removing overly bloated processes and creating unified and efficient systems of working throughout. So don't just take our word for it. See for yourself. Tratec Consulting, the leaders in technology transformation across retail and hospitality.
Hi, good evening and welcome to the All Things Borough podcast, the official podcast for Farnborough Football Club, and we are sponsored by Tratec Consulting. I'm Alan as normal, and I'm joined by Simon as usual. But we've got a new. Is this a new host, a new co-host? It's Tom. We haven't seen this Tom before for a while. How are you doing, Tom?
Not bad. I was gutted to miss the Dan Bradshaw and the Craig episodes because they're very, very good episodes. Got to say, I think Dan spoke really well. I'll put that out there. But yeah, busy at work. Rushed back today, but happy to be here for a very, very special guest, in my opinion. How are you?
Yeah, we've got I'm good. Yeah, busy day at work. I'm not going to ask Simon how his day's work went because we all know how Simon's day's work goes. But we have.
Busy one today.
No, I don't think so. But we have got a very special guest. Obviously, this is going out on YouTube, so everyone can see who we've got. But we have got Farnborough's very own Ricky Holmes on the show tonight. So, good evening, Ricky. How are you doing?
Hello, guys. You good?
Yeah, not bad. How's your day been today? No training today, obviously.
Nah, normal stuff, mate. In at work at Olympia in London. Got into with Sam Deering actually.
Oh, brilliant.
Electrics with him about 18 months ago. So yeah, on site and in the real world.
What is it you do there? What's the business?
It's installing buzz bar. It's in electrics.
Oh, okay.
In electrics, yeah. It's not what I'm used to, but it gets me out of the house instead of chasing the kids around. What was it you were doing, Tom? Freddie Mercury tribute?
Yeah,
that's a new one. Great stuff. That's a new one. That's a new one.
We had a book open. Who had the first joke about Tom's hair and moustache? You've done the record, Ricky. 30 seconds, top man.
I think you beat Mark White's 80s porn star one.
Yeah, I wasn't going to give you that luxury, mate.
Yeah, he's had a few. We've compared him to initially at the beginning when he first started growing the test. We compared him to Tom Selleck. And then not that he knew who Tom Selleck was.
I know who Tom Selleck is.
But as he's got his hair and his tash has evolved, I sort of compared him to Weird Al Yankovic. You'll know who Weird Al was, Ricky.
No, I don't.
No.
Only Alan knows who he is.
Alan, it's not as old as you, mate.
No, clearly not as old as me. But yeah, he's had a fair few. But Mark's 80s porn star was a funny one. But no.
I don't know. Freddie Mercury's quite good actually. I mean,
I'd take Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, the thing with Tom, he just wants to break free, doesn't he, Tom? But anyway, enough of my jokes, lads. Show must go on. Yeah, crack on.
I'll be in a white vest next week.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ricky, we've got you on to talk about obviously your long career so far, but how's everything at the minute going at the club at Farnborough after Saturday's win?
I mean, you see the recruitment in the summer. It's a club that's obviously going in the right direction. We had a wobble over the bank holiday, which I was quite surprised by. I don't want to make excuses on the Saturday, but I will anyway. Welling didn't play Tuesday, and at the start of the season, it takes you I spoke to you guys the other day. It takes 5-6 games to really find your feet and get your second wind, your full fitness. Because pre-season, that no one likes it, and if someone runs off the back of you every now and again, you'll let him go because it don't really matter. And then it gets into the crunch of the season. That's when you get fatigue set in. And it's been quite a tough start to the season with the amount of games we played already, which is unusual. But look, we got outplayed, we got outfought, out-muscled in every aspect of the game against Welling, which is unusual for us. The first 3 games were brilliant. we play with high press, high tempo, which is exactly what me, Gaffer, and the other coaching staff installed to the team. It takes it out of you when you're not fully match fit. And that's exactly how I felt personally. Obviously, I get the advantage of coaching and playing. So I know what I'm looking for the boys to do tactically, but also know how much it hurts the body. And I had nothing in me on the Saturday, and I think we were all looking around for a bit of inspiration, and it didn't come. Looking at the young kids, really thinking, "Get me out of the hole here, lads. I'm feeling it." But no, it didn't come. And yeah, we lost in a bad manner. Then Tonbridge on the Monday. I'm not a massive fan on stats, but we do get the stats, and we get the stats to. You take a. Can I swear on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you take a shit off. Take a shit half time, and I know exactly what it smells like. Like, these stats give you everything.
Yeah.
They give you everything. And yeah, I looked at them from the Tonbridge game. Obviously, I was watching. I didn't play, and we were okay, albeit we lost 2-0. We made 2 individual errors, but it weren't just the 2 individual errors. As a collective, as a whole, from our shape. And we went through it on the Wednesday at training. I pulled all the defenders and went through it, because we had worked on it 3 weeks ago, and I think they forgot already, so they got a rollicking. Where if we was in a better shape, we would have denied their chances, even though we made the individual errors. So that's a learning curve for all the boys. And because I'm such a good coach, we then get a clean sheet next game. So yeah,
I was just going to say it must have worked, because you got defensively. We were obviously, me and Alan were at the game, as you know, and I thought defensively we were really solid.
Yeah, and we have been, other than them 2 games. And I do count the Welling game, of course, but I do think that was fatigue. The Monday, we were just as good as Tonbridge. They took their 2 chances. We missed a lot of chances. So as a whole, how it started this season, I mean, we played some tough teams, and we've got great results. And if you said we had 12 points from the opening 6 games, I think everyone would have bit your hand off, because it is a good start. It's a competitive start. And it shows that we're going in the right direction. With even the players that are still coming in, with John Page, we know what he can do when he's fully match fit. The kid ain't played for a year, and he doesn't look out of sorts already when he's coming on. So I'm positive for the season, and long may it continue.
What do you think?
Go on, sorry. I've done it already, and I jumped in.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you remember when we played Torquay and Eastbourne? What did you make of the comments of them 2 managers about the whole dark arts thing?
What, the Torquay who play unbelievable football?
Yeah.
They don't, do they? They got beat by us because on the day we were a bit better than what they do. We got long throw. That's all dark arts. So yeah, I get where they're coming from. When you're 1-0 up, we slow the ball game down by getting to the throw-in. They slow it down by goal kick, restarts. They haven't got that luxury of the long throw, but it's exactly the same. They would do exactly the same. You're bitter when you lose. Everyone's always bitter when they lose. I am. Every manager, every player, every coach. So the dark arts, if we're dark arts and we've got a team of quite young lads, then fair play to our young lads, because they've learnt a lot over the last year or 2. I wouldn't say it's dark arts. I think it's just a long throw, and we make teams defend. Am I a massive lover of it? If I'm being honest, not really, because I've always played football when I've come through my career, and as a winger or a number 10, gives you a lot of opportunity to take a short throw and get on the ball and get in the box. But we've been successful doing it. The manager likes it. It is a weapon, and it makes teams defend. And what it does half the time is brings back their centre forward. And it's one of the reasons why we do it, because they have to go and do another 60, 70 yards, and they're defending instead of attacking our box. So if they want to call it dark arts, then that's fine by me. I think it's a way of winning at this level, and it's been successful for us over the past. So why would we not do it? And I think if they had that weapon, especially Torquay, they would do the same.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Ricky, because you kind of there's more than one way to skin a cat in there, and there's certainly more than one way to score a goal. Everyone's always going to give you the platitudes when you score. When you string 20 passes together and run rings around someone and put it.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, a goal's a goal, isn't it? At the end of the day, so you got to play to your strengths, haven't you?
Yeah, and it is the strength of ours. I mean, we haven't been great here this season. We've been working on it on the training pitch because I don't think we scored a goal from it. Most of our goals have actually come from a high press.
Yep.
And then, so that will come. So if you add 6, 7, 8 goals to what we're doing at the minute, we should be better off where we was last season and make the playoffs, in my opinion. Yep. So they will come, the goals, and yeah, look, it's a weapon, and I think every team, if they had it, they would use it at some point. So
yeah, 100%.
Completely agree.
It wouldn't get mentioned if they beat us.
Yeah.
I didn't hear really Welling or Tonbridge say it once, so
no,
exactly.
No.
You mentioned, Ricky, the sort of younger lads in the squad, and obviously you do a lot of coaching. You're a player coach, but do you find, especially with the younger lads, and that sort of share your position as well, with all your vast experience in the Football League and scoring lots of goals and being a part of great teams, do you find yourself sort of naturally imparting a bit of your wisdom onto these younger lads in a similar position to you at Farnborough?
The funny thing is, I prefer coaching defenders. I prefer doing defensive coach than I do attacking coaching, because I think in defence you can coach from a structure. It's very set, albeit the opposition are going to move and stuff. But if you stay in a good shape and you've got a strong foundation, then you can build from there. Where I think I use the expression in my coaching terms of, I split the pitch into 3. Our third is no risk, and you've seen it over the years. We don't take no risk in our third. I ain't being funny, we ain't good enough. And I don't think to get it from A to B at this league, it happens often. And I think testament to the Worthings in that, because it's unbelievable what they do. So we do no risk. So for me, as a coaching point, I'm with the defenders a lot, because I'll do their no risk point and get them into a shape. In the middle of the pitch, it'll be medium risk. If there's a pass to be had and they can get on a half turn, then that's no risk, so they can play that. But if they've got a man up their arse and they've got no out ball, you're not allowed to, and we flip it down the channel. Then at the top of the pitch, express yourself. So to express yourself, how can I coach someone who's going to go and express himself? I can give him, so take Reggie Young, for example, I can give him 3, 4 tips for when he's one-on-one, not to how to take him on, but his end product. So I'd never say, Reggie, you've got to do this to take him on, because that picture changes every game, and he plays totally different to I used to play. I mean, the kid does a step over in his sleep, doesn't he? So I've only ever had the Beardsley shuffle. So I was like, well, I'm not going to teach him how to do anything else. How you beat a man is how you beat a man. Now, where can your cross be? Your choice of cross and stuff like that. And we've worked on that. And the only other really number 10 since the last year or so has been Joe Haig. And the kid can coach me, because he's some better than me. So, and he started on fire. So we do a lot more defensive coaching than we do attacking wise. We'll do like finishing drills and stuff, but a lot of our coaching, me and Steve Baker, is defensive minded, because I think the story always changes going at the top of the pitch.
That leads me on to my next sort of question. Do you think sort of the expressionism of an attacker in their play, and sort of the way they can not be drilled into just maybe having the same routine of run out the wing, put it in the box, or cut inside, do you think that's important, especially at the level? And do you think that's sort of important for the sort of things you achieved and the way you played? Like, I mean, you scored a lot of great goals. That's got to be taking risks in a way.
Massively important. I think it changed when I started playing for Chris Wilder, because he gave me freedom to. I used to play a lot on the left wing. He used to say, "Oh, go and get involved. I want you on the ball. You're going to make things happen, so go and get involved. If you want to drift inside or go over on the other side, just out of possession." We used to play 4-2-3-1. Out of possession, make sure the 3 of you behind the striker get back into some kind of shape. And I think you see that with Spencer and Farnborough as well. You'll see Reggie on the right alongside Sam Smart the other day. And as long as when it breaks down, you get back. So I think you have to play a freedom, because you become so rigid and structured, it's easy to mark. Or it's easy to get into a shape and go, right, he's going to stay there. He's going to stay in the 10. He's going to stay out there. We know if we just work across the pitch, they're not going to break our lines, because they're so structured in a formation. And you've only got to look at the best Man City, and then you go to our league and you look at Worthing. They don't really have a position. Like, it's incredible what they do under a part-time scheme. So we're not that flamboyant, but we play in a structure where you haven't really got much going on up front in your left wing, your right wing. We can all just spread out and go wherever you want, and it seems to cause chaos.
Yeah.
We want to obviously we want to look back on your career a bit as well during doing this recording, but we'll what I want to do is look forward just one day to Hornchurch tomorrow night. What's the feeling like in the camp? Obviously, and how do you feel? What's your feelings like going into that game tomorrow night? It's quite a well, it's not as big a game as it would have been if we hadn't had a result on Saturday, but it's still, it's an away game in a tough place to go, isn't it? So, what's your feelings going forward on that one?
The feelings for everyone else, they're going to realise what I do to get to Farnborough, because it's 15 minutes from my house, and they're all saying it's going to take me 2 hours to get round the motorway. So,
I was thinking that. I was thinking that we were chatting offline. You're saying you're only down the road, aren't you? So I think
yeah. So it's a lovely one for me.
Yeah.
Look, it's not the best of grounds to go to. Track round the pitch. But we've been to worse and we've been to better, and it's just a football game. They're decent. They're very decent. Although they're a promoted team, they've recruited really well in the summer. Know a few of their players. Sean Scannell, Liam Nash, pace out wide, got goals in them as well. I think they both scored at the weekend. Belanto's been National League, Football League, I believe. Dagenham, etc. Really good player. A big striker up top, and yeah, all round they've got a good squad. It'll be a tough game, and if you let the surroundings get the better of you or the travelling, then you're going to be in for a long night. Yeah. But we'll go there full of confidence now. It's mad what one goal does, or a 1-0 win. Because if you look at drawing or losing St Albans, then it becomes a must win.
Yeah.
Now it becomes
Yeah, well, me and Simon was at the game, obviously, because we spoke to you after the game. But we were saying before the game that game against St Albans was sort of a must-win game because of the 2 losses we had before.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind we've got Hornchurch coming up tomorrow night, so Saturday against St Albans we needed to win that one really, just to get
we knew that. We felt
back
that.
on track.
I think we probably felt that in the first half. I mean, I think we were pretty poor in the first half, and Spencer already said before the game, me and Mason were likely just to play 45, 60 minutes, and he rightly so brought us off. We didn't have an impact on the game, and the lads that come on actually changed the game. So that's how strong our squad is this season. And I think I was singing Spencer Mourinho after the game, because that's probably how he felt. So I thought I'll give him a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's a good goal for Miller, wasn't it? I think everyone's around the camp really pleased for him, I suppose, aren't they? Getting 2 goals.
Everyone's so pleased for him because he actually had a good pre-season.
He scored a nice free kick.
Yeah, and we brought in Mason, and we all know what Mason can do. He's a great striker for this level, and we're playing one up front, so he's found it hard to get minutes, but he's never changed as a person. He's a 19-year-old kid, and it's like he's 25. Like he's been patient, and he's got his rewards, but the idiot got sent off, so he can't play Tuesday. But, but no,
I mean, we was at that game where we got the 2 yellow cards, and they were a bit.
Crap, and it's not the second one especially. He's gone in with his shoulder not started up, but the liner decided to get involved.
I think also if you consider what was missed against St Albans right at the end when it was in the corner, someone's put Miller from one shoulder over onto the floor, and the ref's not seen it. Lino's right there. I mean,
there's a few ones in that game, but that we got the result, and they will come good, by the way. St Albans, they're a good team. Got a great manager in Nobes. They will come good. So it was a sticky game, because when they click, they can really beat you. Thankfully, they didn't really get going when we were poor, and then I thought second half we were a much better team.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Really, they have started off very well. I agree with everything you said about the first half. I think it was both teams were kind of going into it a little bit cagey, because they knew it was quite an important match. But like you say, I think St Albans will be all right. They've got really good players going forward, haven't they? And they
will be. They'll be fine. I think the gaffer said they lost their opening 5 last year. And then
really
should have been in the playoffs. If Nobes didn't leave, they would have been in the playoffs. Obviously, when it didn't work out, but they'll be fine. They won't be down there. I can't.
I mean, they've got a great. I think they've got a great squad as well.
Yeah.
You look at some of the signings and stuff, and the goalie Michael Jordan's great.
Yeah, they've got a good team.
Yeah, he kept him in it. He did.
Yeah.
What do you think about Guy Hollis getting named in Team of the Week on the old National South paper?
daylight robbery, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit controversial. That.
Yeah, obviously they haven't turned up to the game again, so they've just picked someone who got a clean sheet, and they thought, "Oh, I'll pick the biggest one," so I'm a bit scared.
Yeah. Well, he messaged me. He messaged me and said they only picked me because I'm the best looking. He said so. You know.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I'm only kidding. He didn't say that, but I can imagine he thought, yeah.
Yeah, I think his teammate Proot's got him out of trouble a little bit on Saturday. So.
Oh, he made a goal saver, didn't he?
Yeah,
goal saver that was, wasn't it?
He come under a bit of criticism in the Tunbridge game. Obviously, his first game back from suspension, and we gave him a bit of stick because I think he needs it. That's his personality. That's the way he holds himself, and he needs to be told. And fair play to him. I said to him after the game, he stood up and be counted straight away, and he had a fantastic game. I thought.
Yeah, well, that tackle in the second half, that was an absolute goal saver. That wasn't it? Guy was literally going to put it in, wasn't he? He come from nowhere.
Jack was already diving the other way like he usually does. So
he uses his legs more than his hands, doesn't he?
I forgot he had hands. I thought he had the gladiator hands on half the
time. No, brilliant. Right, so let's go back. Let's go back a few years, then quite a few years, and if you can remember.
He's absolutely killing you, Eric. He's killing you.
Yeah. If you can remember 1970, then we're on to a winner.
Ricky, you can call him bald whenever you want.
Doing moustache as you when I first started playing. That was it. I'm trying to bring it back.
Well, take us back then to a young Ricky Holmes then when he first started playing, and let us know, and obviously let the people watching know where it all started and where you've been.
Obviously, I don't want to listen to the grassroots stuff, but I went to Southend when I was 13. Got released on schoolboy year on 16. Was a centre midfielder. Just didn't have no discipline in the centre midfield. Just used to want to run everywhere. And I actually went to college, and it was my college coach who was my Southend under 13s or 14s coach said, "You're a winger." I said, "No chance. I just want to be involved the whole time. Like, why am I going to go and sit out on the wing?" And he said, "You're a winger. If you want to make it, you got to play on the wing." So I'll give it a go. We had like an academy where all the players at college got released from pro clubs. So we were a good team. And stuck with them. Played on the wing. And then I think it was 17. And my second year at college, my second year at college, Chelmsford come over to the college and we become their reserve team.
Right.
So then played in the reserve league for Chelmsford for 3 or 4 games, and then Craig Edwards said, "Right, you're stepping up to the first team." When I was 18, that was when Craig was a manager. They were ground sharing at Ricky actually, because they were still building their new stadium. So yeah, went to the first team, got a few appearances, etc. And then the Canby mob come over with Jeff King, Glenn Pennyfather, and an unbelievable side.
Yeah, a good side back in the day, weren't they?
Oh, mate, with some unbelievable players, yeah. So they come over to Chelmsford. Obviously, Craig left because Jeff was going to be the manager, and I had a great 4 years with them. I think we were in the Ryman Prem at the time. Yeah, the first year Ryman Prem with AFC Wimbledon. So it was this and them and us going for the title. We won it first season. They won the playoffs. Then we got into Conference South, and it was strong. It was a strong Conference South League at the time. And again, it was us and Wimbledon. I think we were top my second year. And I'm sure the boys just tossed it off because they didn't want to go National League because they was all working. And there's me running around like a blue-ass fly trying to win everything. And we were top of the league by about 10 points with 10 games to go, and we end up finishing second or third, losing in the playoffs about 5-0 to Hampton or something. Oh, here we go. And I'd signed a contract, and I had clubs coming in for me. And at the time, I didn't really know. I was young. I was really enjoying it, and they would just say, "Oh, accepting the bid." And I was like, "Okay, where now?" Or later on in my career, I would have gone, "No, you accepting the bid." There was Peterborough when they're buying all McLean, McCall Smith, and everyone.
Yeah.
So I got held back a little bit. Looking back now, should have put my foot down a little bit, but Jeff was scary. He's a big, scary man. So I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll keep playing.
Is he as scary as Spencer, or Spencer a bit nicer?
No, Spencer much nicer. Jesus Christ. No, Jeff King's no one to mess with. So I ended up staying there for 4 seasons, 1 with Craig and then 3 with Jeff King. And when Jeff finally decided to step away from Chelmsford, I become a free agent at 21, 22. And that's where I thought, oh, lovely, I'll have these Peterboroughs, Palace and all that lot. But I didn't have a great season. I didn't toss it, but I didn't really want to be there. Like, I'd done my time, that it was long enough, knew I was good enough to be pro. And everyone started saying, oh, he's a good non-league player, probably not quite good enough to be pro. And I was like, well, I ain't been given a chance. But I didn't have a fantastic... I've still got 20-odd goals, but I wasn't great compared to what I was the season or 2 before. And yeah, I had Barnet, AFC Wimbledon, and Dagenham come in. All the teams that are probably... I think AFC Wimbledon were in the Conference National League at the time, because I think I would have gone there, knowing the connection that we had and the rivalry we had, and it was a great club, well supported. But they were in National League, and I didn't want to go National League and get stuck there for 2-3 years. So I went to Barnet. It was either Barnet or Dagenham. Went to Barnet instead of Dagenham. And yeah, I signed a 2-year deal with a year option. Ultimately, AFC Wimbledon went up first year, so should have gone there because we stayed up last game of the season. But I had a great time at Barnet. It was quite good because I was finding my feet as a pro, because you have doubts. If you have 2-3 games where you don't play or you have a bad time, you start thinking, were they right where I was only good in non-league and not good enough for a pro game?
Yeah.
Found out later on, I was good enough for the pro game. But took me a little while to find my feet, get adjusting to full-time training. Gone from part-time to full-time. Would be electric for 6 games, then would be knackered for a few games. But the manager, Mark Stimpson, who I've got so much respect for, brilliant coach. He used to know when to take me out and things like that, and take me out of the team and etc. So yeah, that was some experience, just making it pro and lifelong dream, really.
Well, Barnet's great ground, isn't it? Really, so they've got such good caliber for bringing in players through, and they're even doing it still now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They just moved into their new training ground, Hive, at Barnet, and what a facility for League Two. And we were still playing at Underhill, so you train at the Hive, unbelievable facility. You go to that shithole and you think, oh, here we go. But as a winger, you push it down that hill. I don't know if you've ever been to the Hive. It had a massive gradient on the pitch, and as a winger, it's a dream, because not going that way, but running down the hill, you push and run past someone who... I was pretty quick back then. No one can catch a turn you. Like I used to love playing at Underhill. Tight, old school, little ground, so I loved it there. And yeah, first season. How many managers did I have then? I had Stimo. We were struggling. He got sacked. And then I think that season, I can't remember, but Martin Allen coming anyway, Mad Dog, for the last 8 games, and we were doomed. We were destined for relegation. I thought, oh no, AFC Wimbledon are going to win the National League. I'm going to get relegated into the National League. What is going on? Like, I can't buy no luck. But Martin Allen come in and put the shitters up us, and then that was the end of it. We dominated the last 8-9 games, and as mad as he is, I love him. I played my best football at the time under him because I needed him. He used to call me Rat Boy because I was quite loud. Used to mess around a lot. Sam Deering was there. I had an Irish mate, Mark Byrne. It was us, like 3 amigos, all little, all mouthy, all terrorising the place. And yeah, he thought it was funny to call me Rat Boy. Would get the boys just to pick up a ball each, give me the ball bag. I was like, go on, boys, put it in there. I said, no. They would have to boot them as far as they could, and I'd have to go and round them up as a Rat Boy. And I look back now. I used to think, Gaffer, come on, mate, he's taking the piss out of me. But I look now, because I was chirpy, he just grounded me. He just kept me on the ground, and then he pulled me into his office, and he'd just sit there and said, Gaffer, you wanted to see me? He'd just go, and I'll be like this. I'll be looking at it. I think, nah, what have I done now? And he just go, you all right? I go, yeah. He go, no, but you all right? You ready? I say, yeah, go on then. Why are you in here? Fuck off. And that'll be it. And I'll be like, oh, but you either sink or swim. And I think he just wanted to find out if I was just chirpy off the pitch and then not on the pitch. And luckily I swam for him because I was really good the coming games as he was coming in, and see a few people sink. And when you're in a relegation fight, why do you want people if someone's just staring at you, giving it a deep breath, or there you could go to, I don't know, Chesterfield away where there's 10,000 people who are going to win the league and you've got to try and get a result. Like, there's only one man in front of you, and that's what I've kind of learnt from it over the years, where he was just testing us to see if we'd think in front of one man, because if you can't do it in front of one man, you wouldn't do it in front of 10,000. And I thought that was unbelievable from him, and he has been not a Jimmy Fix-It, because he's had a great coaching career and managerial career, but everywhere he's gone into a club, he's always been successful for that short period of time, and ultimately he kept us up. So I owed him everything because I was still a professional footballer going into the next season. Then he went to Gillingham, and we had another coach come in, Mark Robson, and he was fantastic football brain, like unbelievable. We just didn't have we weren't good enough. I mean, our budget was probably one of the worst in the league, and we couldn't compete with these big budget teams like the Gillinghams, the big clubs. And his philosophy, everything about him. I think he coached England under 19s, 20s. And yeah, that was a great time to learn the other side of the game, but we just weren't good enough. So yeah, that's where that ended. And we had Laurie Sanchez come in, the old Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Legend. Scored in the FA Cup final. That was it.
I suppose you're going to tell us a bit about him, but he's obviously he scored the goal in the 1988 final, didn't he? And he sort of lived on it probably pretty much his whole career. But he was at Wycombe, wasn't he, for a bit, and did quite well there, and he sort of disappeared a bit, didn't he? He was a one club man or what?
No, he was at Wycombe, and we had a lad, Danny Sender, a brilliant right back, who come to Barnet. He'd had a few knee injuries, so he come to Barnet, should never have been playing at our level. And he had him at Wycombe and said, when he come in, he was like, "Oh no, lads, this," because we'd just gone from like nice, easy, Ozzy, and then he was like, "It's gonna be a write-off." Spoke to Roger Johnson, he was like, "Nah, this geezer's, he's full on, horrible, massive, like he can't." But he weren't like that. He come to Barnet and he had completely changed.
Really?
Yeah, he was fine. He just, I remember a few times we got to about 11:30, we were shit, and he was like, he was taking training. And he'd obviously had a really good time with Northern Ireland, didn't he? He beat Spain and that, and managed some good players. And yeah, we were rubbish. And he at 11:30, we would usually train till about 1:00. He'd just go, "Oh no, go home." Go on, and we'll go home. He'd actually send us home. That's how bad we was at times.
Wow.
We just used to be like, "Oh yeah, he's right. He's right. We were rubbish." But yeah, we actually stayed up again. Survived just about, and then went into the next season, and we was all in the gym one day. We turned around and Mr. Edgar Davids was walking through the gym. We were like, "What is going on?" So right now I'm in my third year. Martin Allen actually tried to sign me at Gillingham when they're top of the league this year, and I was like, "Oh, here we go, Edgar Davids, lovely. I've got to learn so much off him." No, I didn't. Yeah, it was mental, mate. It was actually mental. I could do a podcast just on this.
You can always come for another.
No, it was crazy, mate. It was craziest time of my career, I think, because we was all in awe of him. Like proper in awe of him, and he loved me as well. Like, just called me Mark Overmars. I used to feel 10 feet tall. Oh, brilliant. But he was just hard work. Like, he's obviously got knowledge of the game, and he's had an unbelievable career. But leave it at the door. He was 39 when he come in. A month in, he would play himself left back if left back would have a bad game. He played centre half. He played in the 10. He played up front. He played left wing, and he was done. He was gone, mate. Or we'll be out at 10:30. Training starts at 10:30. He'd walk down at 11:15. We wouldn't be able to start without him, and he'd just have a Starbucks in his hand, and he'd just walk down, and we'd just be like freezing in the winter or something, and it just didn't rub off right. But we had to give him the respect. He's the manager for one. He picks the team. You all need to play, especially at Barnet, because you're on lower wages, so you need the appearance money. Like even if it's only 100, 150 quid, it adds up 7 games a month. There's your 700 quid, or your goal bonus, stuff like that. So you need him more than he needs you. Obviously, he's the manager and he needs you, but we needed to play because you need to showcase what you can do. But it was hard work, mate. We had to call him Mr. or Sir.
Really?
So we didn't want to call him Sir, so we called him Mister. So we were on the pitch going, like he's playing with us still as well, like not great. And he's like, Mister. We have to shout Mister, and all like my mates that I know I'm playing against are like, what? What do you just call this Edgar? Like, we have to call him Mister, and it was kind of a power trip from day one where he's a big ego. Don't get me wrong. I used to love the adverts that he used to do on Nike. Like he made that position his own, didn't he? He started build enforcer, like in my era anyway.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work like that, unfortunately.
Did he always have the glasses on? Did he always wear the glasses all the time, 24 hours a day?
I was going to ask.
No, he would train in them sometimes. They wouldn't have a lens. Like I don't know nothing about his
condition.
Glycosemia, or I can't remember what it's
called. Is it glycemia?
Glycoma.
Yeah, but sometimes they didn't have a lens in, so it might have been what he's used to. Sometimes they did have a lens. I did get a photo, but I can't find it. I did get a photo of them on. But, So it's like a real quick one, and then a quick take it off. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the geezer was hard. Like a few boys would smash him in training, and he'd dust himself off and get you back. He was tough bloke. I swear, just like bipolar, one week it'd be terrible, like a nightmare to deal with, like a nightmare. And then next week, I'll take you all Nando's after training, and then no one wanted to sit next to him, and I sat next to him because I wanted to quiz him about his career. And it was nice to hear him on a different level. So maybe it was just football, and he didn't understand why we were so bad, probably. But he had to learn the level quick, and he didn't.
I was going to say, do you think he didn't understand the level when he went in?
Probably. Well, we didn't play like the Dutch way. We didn't overplay, but everything training was poor. He stopped a session before. We had Barry Fuller, who's at Dorking now, actually, really good career.
Great player.
He knocked it in from right back into Steve Cabot, who had a great career, into centre forward in shape on a Friday. Great ball into a striker. He was playing centre mid, probably because our centre mid had a bad game. And he stopped the session for about 10 minutes and was like, "No, Barry, what are you doing?" We were like, Baz was like, "Oh, just put it into my centre forward." Got us up the pitch. We play from there. He was like, "No, give me the ball." And he was like, "What?" So pass me the ball. I'm Mr. Edgar Davids. And that summed him up. Like, you're playing in front of 1,000 people at Underhill. You've played at the new camp. You've won everything.
Yeah.
You played with Messi, Ronaldinho. Like, you play with everyone. And he's probably thinking I'm playing with Barry Fuller, Ricky Holmes, and these lads. But yeah, he didn't need to be like that, and but he couldn't control himself. So it was an experience in itself.
Do you think he set a precedent for what you should be as like a player coach? Because you experienced him as a player manager. Do you think that sort of molded your sort of style?
I think you all do. I think along the way you pick up bits from everyone. I didn't take a lot from the way he was. No, I probably took that
not to be.
Yeah, but I couldn't be that guy anyway. Like it was, I might drop a little big time bomb to a few of the young lads, just put them in their place at Farnborough. But this was, I can't even describe. Just in case he listens to it, I probably won't tell you everything. But
I think it's pretty safe there, Rick.
I don't think you need to take that risk.
Funny enough, Ricky, we have got Edgar on the line. Actually, he wants to say hello.
Yeah, get his number. No, it was an experience where I got on well enough with him. He didn't really have a conversation with anyone, but it was hard work. And the only good thing I got out of it was when I quizzed him for about an hour. He probably thought, "Shut up, I'm trying to eat my Nando's." But and he just said Zidane was the best ever player I played with, like by a mile. In that Juventus team, he'd just give him the ball and we'd all sit behind it and he'd do magic. So, and I didn't realise Zidane I knew he was good, but not that good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's probably my favourite player ever as well.
Is he?
More so the fact when he headbutted Materazzi in the World Cup final, that was absolutely fantastic. There's been a player who deserved a headbutt like that as Materazzi. To be fair, wasn't it? It's unbelievable.
It's
What a way to go out. Fantastic.
Yeah.
More of a
But no,
Mason Bloomfield guy myself.
That was an experience. And then Gillingham bid in that January, and I had 6 months to go. We were second bottom or bottom of the league. Gillingham were top. Martin Allen, obviously, I played really well under. He bid for me on deadline day, and I was desperate to go. But the chairman said, if you go, we'll get relegated, because I was playing really well. And I was like, yeah, but like I've give you 2.5 years service. My third year was actually an option. So, and then I said, please, like, you've got to let me go. I don't want to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I did try to leave, and I was quite open about that. But he wouldn't let me go. And then we played Bristol Rovers the next day on the 1st February when the window shut. I broke my foot and never played again.
No.
So, yeah. So they could have taken the cash. I would have got the deal. But, yeah, that's how football pans out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't play once again that season. And look, I'm not saying if I stayed fit, the fans still say it now, but I don't think it would have been true. I just don't think we were good enough under that management to stay in the league anyway. And they got relegated. Well, we got relegated. I wasn't even allowed to go to like the last game of the season away to cheer on the boys when we got, like it got a bit messy. It got all a bit messy. So yeah, that's when I left there. Without a contract, but hadn't played for obviously 4 or 5 months. So they had another operation on the same foot I'd broke before. And could have been career ending. I had a pin through it already, but I broke it with the pin in and they couldn't get the pin out. So now I've got a pin. I've got a screw, 2 fishing hooks and wire wrapped around my outside of my foot on the 5th metatarsal. And thankfully, touch wood, it survived many moons, as they would say, many games. Yeah, and
that's all still in your foot now?
Yeah, still in there. Yeah, I can't get it out. So
Oh, wow.
The screw was already in there, so now it's 2 fishing hooks and wrapped with wire and a bone graft down the outside of my foot. So yeah, thankfully I went to the top surgeon and he managed to do it. But yeah, that's when I went to Portsmouth, and I couldn't believe it because I've been non-league and then walked to Fratton Park and was like, wow. And they took a gamble because I still hadn't run when I signed for them.
Yeah.
But I signed out at the wrong time. They were in turmoil. It's when they were going down the leagues, and they were revamping the whole club. I think they got fan owned, didn't they? They were fan owned at the time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It was all a bit messy. We had too many young lads, but they're really good young lads who have gone on to have great careers, like Adam Webster.
Jed Wallace.
Adam. Yeah.
Played for Farnborough.
I lived with him actually. But yeah, you had Adam Webster, Jed Wallace, Dan Butler, like Connor Chaplin, who's in the Prem now. Like it was
Ipswich,
unbelievable. If it was 3 years down the line, we would have romped the league. But they were young. They were 17, 18, and they fielded it with us older ones, and it didn't really work. But what a club!
What league were they in then when you were with them?
They just got relegated from League One. Yeah.
So that was it. They're probably their lowest probably ebb at that point, weren't they? I suppose.
Yeah, the lowest point and trying to rebuild. So it's kind of the wrong time, and we would win 2, lose 2. It was kind of, we played like the club was. It was a bit all over the place because they were getting taken over. And thankfully, look at them now because it was unbelievable, mate. Great place to live, great fans. If you win 2 in a row, you live like a king. You go down the pub on a Sunday, it's just like you're a hero. Where if you lose, you go down the shop to come up, you're putting your hood up, you're getting in, getting out. It's not the abuse you get, it's just everyone there is a Portsmouth fan. You don't see no shirts. Like they are one town, one club, and I think that's fantastic. And that's testament to all the parents who are getting the kids to support Portsmouth.
Yeah, I really love cities like that. It's just Liverpool's like that. I've noticed it. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I love the Liverpool's like it's a proper football city, and you live and breathe it every single day, don't you? It's amazing.
Mate,
really
honestly, if you go down there,
Sheffield as well.
Yeah, Sheffield's mental. Yeah, Sheffield's mental. But there's 2 clubs there.
Yeah,
same as Liverpool.
In Portsmouth, it's just Portsmouth. And me and my missus went back down there the other week actually because I love it down there. And yeah, like I say, you live like a king, or it's constant football. Like you can't get away from it. So we weren't great. I had a good season my first year. Got player of the year down there, but I think we finished about 16th, 17th, and because they were Portsmouth and they'd never really been that low. or since the new fans could remember or whatever. They thought probably didn't think, but everyone thought the fine right, you get 18,000, you should be top of the league. But we don't work like that, and unfortunately, we didn't have a great season. But the best time I'd had in football by a long stretch.
Can I ask, is Fratton Park the best home ground you've had as a home ground other than Cherry Road?
It's a good second. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because we weren't doing great. They, from the start to the finish, they don't get on you one bit. They support the team. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no like you ain't fit to wear the shirt until after the whistle, or the boos come after the whistle, or the chants, or the conversations, etc. And I'm telling you, when you walk in, there's 1,000 fans there asking for like shirt signings. Like I've never experienced anything like that, and they support the team.
Yeah,
like they really support the team. So it's definitely, it's probably the best because of the magnitude of how many fans they get every week.
Yeah.
Bad, but I've obviously been at other big clubs where the fans have been fantastic for myself.
Bramall Lane and like.
Well, yeah, they probably didn't like me there, but I didn't play much. So, but yeah, I played at good stadiums. But that was probably throughout the career. That was probably my favourite. I wish I was there when they were successful because that town would be mental. And then going on to my second season, I've just got Player of the Year. Was playing. Then the new manager Andy Orford, who took over 6-7 games towards the end of my first season, got on really well with him. It was going fine. Like he'd come up to us, speak to us, because now I was 25, 26. I was becoming the other side. I was becoming the person the gaffer would call into the office for the communication because we still had a young team. And then it just went sour for not really any reason. Really, I was quite vocal in some things I said, and he started playing 3-5-2. I played wing back, played really well at home. Played Oxford away and got absolutely torn up by Junior Brown. Got booked, should have got sent off, got dragged at half time. And I was like, look, I'm not a wing back. Like I can fill in every now and again, maybe at home, but away from home against these good wingers, you're not going to get the best out of me. So he stopped playing me because Jeb Wallace was playing in the 10 and he was better than me in there. So I was like, I want to play. I've just got Player of the Year. I'm not here to sit on the bench. So we had a big Barney. This was going into December. So he was like, yeah, it got heated anyway. And then, yeah, for that month, I was frozen out. And then Chris Wilder gave me a call and said, come and sign for us. 1st of January, I think it was, or 2nd of January. Went up to Northampton, and they were actually below Portsmouth in the league. I think they were 21st, 22nd, and it was the last chance saloon for Wilder. He nearly got sacked. Inherited a lot of his players from, I think it was AD Boothroyd, and signed me, Jason Taylor, and Brendan Maloney on the same day, and it just seemed to click. Sometimes 3 players freshening it up from players that had 2.5-year deals already at the football club, and that's why they say like get rid of the deadwood. Bad players. Sometimes you just need to freshen it up and new faces, give a bit of enthusiasm, a bit of spark. I think John Joe O'Toole had been on loan, then come back and really galvanised himself and his career as well. So yeah, we went there and we went on a crazy run my first year. Come like 11th, 10th, 11th, and I thought, wow, this is great. So I went on loan initially. 3 games in, Chris come to me and said, you've only got 6 months left at your Portsmouth deal. You want to sign 2.5-year deal? I said, yes, I do. And he said, also, you can't play next week because we've got Portsmouth. And I was like, well, I want to play against them because he was still manager. So I was like, I want to play against them 100%. He said, right, ring them, tell them to tear up the contract. They probably never had that because all footballers try and get a payout or whatever it may be. So I just rang them and said, tear my contract up, please. And they were like, oh, no, we might bring you back. I said, I'm not coming back. I've found my feet. I love the manager. While the old regime and the staff are still there, I can't come back. Just tear my contract up. I'm done. I don't want a penny. Just tear it up.
Yeah.
And it hurt because I loved Portsmouth and I wanted to stay there and be part of the success. But I went to Northampton and Alan Neil and Chris Wilder just understood me and I knew my career would elevate with them. So yeah, they tore it up, and they tore it up early enough that I could play against Portsmouth, and I thought that was great because I scored and we won 1-0. So straight over to the manager. Straight over to the manager. I went.
Yeah.
I know you can swear on here, but I won't tell you what I said.
It's a shame that with Andy Alford, because he's like a proper Portsmouth legend as well, isn't he, down there?
He is, yeah, and it was strange, and I don't really care if like I'll say it seemed to be he had the job interim, come through the youth team. I thought he was outstanding, got the job properly, do 25 interviews a week with Portsmouth, local press, 5-6 pages on the local rag every day. Like, it's intense. It's like you're in the Premier League. And I don't know if he couldn't cope or it went through his head. To me, because I was angry and a bit bitter because he weren't playing me and I had the row. I said it went through his head, but I think it might have just been stress. Like, I'm older now and like a bit wiser. Like, it might have just been the build up, the stress, and it got better. It got the better of him. He changed so much. It was crazy. I've never seen someone in football change so much when they got the job full time to when they had it interim. And I probably told him, and then that was it.
That was that, yeah. Something you can't unsay, can you? Yeah.
No, I've always said it how it is. Well, try to. Well, my opinion, and if he didn't like it, clearly.
So anyway, when you're working with Chris Wilder, did you ever imagine he might manage in the Premier League one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always like straight away.
Oh, I thought it was magnificent, mate. So it was great 6 months. The lads, the best change room I've ever been in. Obviously, went into a Barnet team that was struggling, so it's hard to like get like really good team morale going. I went to Portsmouth and we was very young. It's different, but I went there and we was all 26 to 30, great age, successful. In this is when we won the league by record points. And what some people don't know, we didn't get paid for 3 months that season.
Oh wow, really?
Northampton nearly went bust.
Yeah.
We were a week away. Was a week away from all being free agents. This was October time, and we had a hell of a squad. Like not massive budget, by the way. Like, we didn't win it with a huge budget like some of the teams do now. We were just an average, bit higher than average budget, I would say. But his recruitment was spot on. We had a really good manager and we had an unbelievable coach in Alan Neal. And yeah, we were nearly bust. He done an interview. You can actually get it online, I think, where he done an interview at Notts County other way, I think it was, or sometime, just like beg the old regime to sell to the new regime, who he knew well because he was the Oxford chairman from his Oxford, Calvin Todd, and he's a brilliant guy. And so we were nearly free agents being really good. So that would have been nice, but we all wanted to stay, and he used to come up to us and say, like, look, you ain't been paid. What do you want to do? We want to play. And it really brought us close. You can go either way, can't it? You can get a team of players who are like, yeah, I ain't playing, or I ain't doing that, I want to leave. But we just said, no, we're here. We're here to stay. We want to play, and we're going to keep winning. And yeah, everything got sorted out, and we went on to win the league with record points. And it was best time of my career. I mean, don't win many things as a pro, and to win it in the manner we won it against a really good Oxford team as well, who comes second. And it was the best. Little trip to Marbella at the end of it was unbelievable, and the way we went, and that's how I actually landed at Charlton. After that,
was that the season you ended up in the team of the season as well?
Yeah, I got team of the season. Yeah, and I actually missed 3 months for a back injury. That was when I started getting really bad back. Obviously, I had loads of injuries in the past with my feet, and my back's always been a bit temperamental, but I was out for 3 months and had a treatment called prolotherapy, which a needle's about this big, but you get put to sleep, thankfully, and they put it in, it wobbles about. You go back every 2 weeks and have this treatment done for a month or 6 weeks, and it seemed to strengthen all the ligaments. And with the rehab, with everything, to be fair, Pablo, this Spanish guy, doing the rehab, he was brilliant for me. So yeah, then I got back in. I think I played my first game in around November time, and I never lost a game that season.
Wow.
We didn't lose from November time all the way through, so I never lost a league game that season and got into team of the year.
How does that weigh up as a personal sort of player achievement? Because obviously there's the title and the team achievements and stuff, but like individually as an accolade, is that one of your favourites?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. Little trip to the PFA Awards, get doled up, think you're James Bond for the evening, and then. But no, I loved it, of course, because you get recognised, and by getting recognised in this sport, you get better contracts, and it's a short career, so you get touted around everywhere, especially with social media. It wasn't as big then, but it was big, and you getting seen, local press, doing interviews, doing this, doing that, and that's what you need to get your name out.
I think because I've mentioned it a few times. I think it's well known amongst sort of football league fans. You're a scorer of great goals, and I know there's a lot of there's like Twitter pages that goal of the day, and they'll throw out you versus like you for Northampton. I know you hit a few nice volleys. Do you think that sort of reputation also plays a part in sort of gaining that sort of notoriety and earning a better contract?
Yeah, but probably because again, it gets you on Sky Sports News in the goal of the day, and it does help. It does help. I mean, got a few screenshots where there's Gareth Bale, Messi, someone else, and me underneath. Like it gets you recognised, but there's more to it as a pro club. They're not just going, "I scored another worldie, we'll sign him." Because I think I'd been out for like a year injured when I'd done my back when I was at Sheffield, and I still had the most goals outside the box over the last 3 years or something like that. And so it makes you feel good, but where there's so much stats and computer systems that give you every reading, there's more to it. It just gets your name out there a little bit more.
Completely.
How did the move to Charlton come around then? How did that happen?
Yeah, it was me and Chris were meant to go together. Me and Chris Wilder, the coaching team. Yeah, we were going together. They put a bid in for me, knowing that Chris was going to become manager. I think he got rejected first time. Then he was on the train down, got to Milton Keynes, and Sheffield United rang him and said, "Do you want to be our manager? We're going to get rid of our manager." I think it was Nigel Atkins at the time, as the football merry-go-round goes. And he was like, "Well, yeah, it's my team. It's my boy at club." And Charlton was a bit of turmoil at the time with the owners. They were trying to get it the other way around. Because when I first went there, before I signed there was agents turning up with players, and the manager would go, "Who's this?" And they go, "Oh, we just signed him." And it was a bit of a shit show, but he actually tried to change it round, to be fair to him. I know that the fans hate him and all. They even held a funeral for him at the stadium and that, like, brought a coffin down the hill and stuff. We were getting peppered with pigs thrown at us and everything, but yeah, they tried to change it, but it was too late. The damage was done. So I think Chris see it as dodging a bullet, but it would have been, he had to go, because going from a Northampton, no disrespect to Northampton, like, I love it there. They class me as like a club legend and stuff. But Charlton's big. It's in London. You do well there, you're going to move on. So he got off at Milton Keynes and went back up north. Rang me and said, "There's no budget to buy anyone at Sheffield United. Sign for Charlton. Go Charlton. Still get the deal done. And we'll see in the future what the future holds." So yeah, that's when Russell Slade got the job and I signed for Charlton.
Were they Premier League at the time, or they
League One?
Yeah,
they'd just been relegated. I kept going to relegated teams that got relegated. That shows how shit I was, doesn't it? They got relegated from the champ, so I'd had a really good season in League Two, and I'd never played League One, so I obviously went there and
natural step up.
Yeah, natural step up. Big club, managed to come nearer to home, and I'm unbelievable. I loved it, even though we weren't fantastic. We should have been. We had a great team. Johnny Jackson, Chris Solly at fullback. We had Ezri Konsa, who's now playing for England. We had Hearn Grant, who's now West Brom, smashing in goals. Josh McGuinness. We had Lee Novak, Nicky Ajose. Like, we had a list of unbelievable players, but it just didn't seem to click every week. So when Russell Slade come in, it was again win two. I don't know if it was the losing mentality that Charlton had over the years, and we couldn't change it. And then he got sacked, and Carl Robinson come in, and what a coach he is. Oh mate, the best.
Yeah, he's done really well, and he Carl Robertson everywhere he's gone off pretty much. Really, he had a few bad experiences, but most of the time he's really everyone always speaks really highly of him. I find.
Oh mate, yeah, and he was Allardyce's right man at Leeds when he last season.
Yeah.
Like the geezer, like I've never seen anything like it. Like Chris Wilder, massive motivator, good tactical stuff, but when you get in a classroom, and he loved the classroom, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's boring, but Carl Robinson, you'd be in there on a Thursday and you'd work on them. So how are we going to defend against them? Like, yeah, no worries. Then you go on to your attacking stuff on the Friday, and you go out on a Saturday. You'd be like, when it pays off, you'd be like, how has he thought with that? Like patterns of play and movements, and you break them down, it look unbelievable. You'd be like, how has he even thought of that? Like the knowledge of the man and the knowledge on football and the way he coaches it and gets it across was the best I've ever seen. The best I've ever seen by a country mile. But sometimes it was too technical, and we weren't good enough to do it week in, week out. That's why I always say if he was in the Premier League just as a head coach, I think he'd excel. Yeah. Because he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal, but we were League One players, and we were trying to do all this fancy roll in, roll out, like, and get confused sometimes, and it wouldn't happen, and we'll get broke down. But and now with Salford manager, you know how hard it must be to get that job with all the Man U contingent down there. They probably looked at his knowledge of the game, and honestly, it was ridiculous how good he was.
Do you? I was
quite sort of attention to detail. Quite
ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. Just the way he would tell you how we're going to break them down, and then you get on a Saturday and it'd be exactly pinpoint how he explained it, and you think, how did he even come up with that the first time? Like, it was by and far like unbelievable, and I don't know why he hasn't gone on to do what Chris Wilder's done. I can't really pinpoint why. Sometimes that's football.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say you mentioned obviously Carl Robertson going to Salford, so you obviously keep an eye on, keeping track on some of the managers. And fantastic.
We exchange messages and that, but if he was so successful at Charlton as Chris was at Sheffield at the time, he might have got to where Chris got to. And Carl might. That's football. It goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Winning. And philosophy, like you have to win to get respect and go up in this world.
I always think though that the people in the game they all know if someone's like exceptional eventually. So he might be at the moment, he might be maybe stalled in his career possibly a little bit on the face of it, but eventually he'll get there.
He's probably taken the job because he didn't have a job, and if you're not in a job, your name gets forgotten quite quickly because there's another goldfish bowl of managers, pool of managers. Especially a lot of teams are going young now. There's another influx of managers, so take the job whilst there. Hopefully you're successful, and then something else will come higher.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You can't stand still in football, can you? It's a revolving door all the time, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. Definitely. And you'll soon get forgotten. No one cares really, do they? Like.
No,
straight away. So that was my first year. I had a really successful season actually, personally. Had a 2-year deal there, I think, and then Chris always said, "I'll come and get you. I'll get you. Don't worry about that." They won the league. He bid for me in the summer. Charlton turned around and said, "We can't sell you. There's no way we can sell you. We've already got the fans throwing pigs at you, us, like inflatable pigs, inflatables coming on the pitch. We were getting tennis balls, we were getting everything." So they wanted to steady the ship. And I said, well, how does that benefit me? Like, my old manager has just won League One, going into Championship. I'm now 29, I think, at the time. I've worked myself up, like I need this opportunity. So I was a bit of a fucker on tour again. We went to Ireland just because I thought I wasn't that guy when I was with Jeff King, and I wasn't that guy when Martin Allen was bidding for me at Gillingham. I now need to be that guy for myself, for my family. to not only go and earn more money, but also play at the highest level possible because it's taken me years and years. So yeah, I was a bit of a nuisance on tour. So I got sent home, which I wanted. I wanted to be a nuisance. I wanted to show like I'm going to be an arsehole. But they wouldn't sell me because they were asking for a ridiculous fee. So Chris said, or he just said, look, we can't do it. And true to their word, Charlton, they gave me a new deal, signed a 3-year deal on exceptional money. I don't mind saying that. They obviously knew it. I was one of the best players in League One, and I knew some of the boys were on good money, so I had to get good money. So I got a 3-year deal, and it was pretty life-changing then. And I was like, whoa, I wish I had this when I was 10 years ago and my whole career. This is unbelievable. So yeah, started the season, I was on fire again. And Chris was third in the championship. And true to his word, got to January, bid for me again. I was like, I told you I'd come back in. And then this time they were third in the championship. Had a chance of going to the Premier League. I think we were 9th or 10th in League One. There's a huge scout there. I just, walked into training. He'll be back. Oh, Carl, can't train today, mate. This is a bad one, mate. Can't do it, pal. And I know the Charlton fans or whatever will go mad, but in any other walk of life or any other industry, if you get a chance in promotion, why can't you take it in football? When your career is 30 years shorter than any other walk of life as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It would have been different if I'd already played in the Championship and I was floating around them leagues, but I hadn't. I played Essex Senior League and played in every league all the way up apart from National League. Like literally, I've gone bang, 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 bang. So I was like, I just said, and then I stopped messing around and I went and had a big chat with him and just said, look, Gaffer, you got to respect. I'm 30. Don't know how long I'm going to last for or career's going to last for. I've never played in a championship. I need to give it a go. It's with a manager that I've got so much respect for. They're flying. They could go Premier League. This is once in a lifetime. If I lose this opportunity, it won't happen again.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably go to the Prem and they would look elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have to let me go. And thankfully to Carl Robinson, he rang the owner and just said, look, I've got to let him go. He's going to upset the apple cart. I wouldn't have. I would have settled in the end, but it was that instant moment where they turned down a bid. And yeah, they sold me. Finally sold me, and I went up there on Derby Day, Sheffield United.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I
was trying to
atmosphere,
hide.
that must have been amazing.
Yeah, because I don't think I should have been up there, so I was trying to hide in the foyer hotel, but I got snapped by one of the fans.
Was it Hillsborough or Bramall Lane?
Yeah, straight on social media. Probably weren't the brightest thing to do, but I wanted to go up there, and I was having a medical, I think, the next day, so I needed to go up there anyway. And yeah, that was an experience. A boring game, 0-0, but I had the medical and then signed a 2.5-year deal there. And
was it at Bramall? Tom asked, was it at Bramall Lane or at Hillsborough?
No, it was at Bramall Lane. Yeah,
Bramall Lane.
Okay.
Do you mind answering? How much did they pay for you?
$500,000, I think. Was
it?
Yeah, I think Charlton paid about 185,000 with add-ons, and then they were $500,000, I think. Which was unbelievable because I would never have had sell on because of my age. There was what he thought was getting someone to push to get promoted, and it for many reasons really it didn't work out. I went there, didn't realise how good they would be, for one, because I played against them. Well, I played against them the year before and scored against them for Charlton, and thought, this is all right. With the likes of Billy Sharp, John Fleck, Duffy. I didn't realise how good Duffy was, who played in my position. They had an unbelievable side. Like, I knew George Baldock for years, Ender Stevens.
And they stayed up in the Prem.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And they just become men. And I was like, whoa, these train like Trojans. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to buy into this. Went there. I actually played really well. I played Wolves away, which was ridiculous experience. Wow. They were signing all Costa and all that lot. They had massive.
The players. Portuguese lot.
Yeah, all the Portuguese firm were in. so I couldn't understand a word they were saying, but it was a good experience. And I actually played well, and I was like, oh, this is all right, this. Then played Fulham away. They got promoted that year as well.
Yeah.
Then I had Aston Villa at home. Grealish played and Snodgrass played. And Snodgrass.
John Terry?
Snodgrass, John.
Yeah, I think he was
he did.
there at the time.
Yeah, so welcome to Championship, Sheffield. Oh, well,
Yeah.
in my opening game, I'll come off the bench. So I had 14, and I think we only got a point out of 4, and he went back to the tried and tested Reading away, and I thought, oh, why you play me at Reading, Gaffer, please? Played against it, and we won, and then they won again, and then I couldn't get back in the team, and then I was up north, and Mrs. was down south, and I really enjoyed being back home when I was at Charlton. Like, I didn't realise how much I really enjoyed it. Got flat up north, and usually when you go to a club, there's a big coffee club because you're done by 1:30, 2:00. What do you do with your spare time? Usually there's a few lads that you might live with, or younger lads, or whoever it may be, but we was all older, and they all had their families up there because a lot of them were Northerners. I think Chris only signs Northerners, and me. He says there's all the Southerners are thinking about what they're going to wear on their night out with their pop socks on and all this. Like, yeah, he don't really like Southerners. Loves a Northerner. So, yeah, I went up there, and it was difficult, to be fair. Just sitting, you have a lot of time to think, and you're not playing, and you've gone from being really good in League One at Charlton to now trying to force your way into a team where you know you're good enough, but you can't get in.
Yeah.
And then, I didn't realise how much I missed home. And I was like, oh, no, here we go.
It's tough, isn't it, Ricky? Because I've had this conversation. Me and Alan talk about the sort of the off the pitch stuff, sort of stuff in football quite a lot. And it is hard, isn't it? Because players, what people don't realise is they're not training 24 hours a day. You train maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then you've got the afternoon to yourself. And if you're not playing, it leaves you in quite a bad, can leave you in quite a bad mental situation sometimes, can't it?
And that's where I think betting and that comes into it. And the boys going to the bookies or they pass time like that. And that's where other clubs, I live with 3 lads in Northampton. I live with Jeb Wallace at Portsmouth. Like, I had that companion straight away after training. And I didn't have that up north, and I was away from home, and I was older, and I couldn't settle. I didn't really overly like it. It weren't until my missus come up, and you realise that the difference. Where she come up because she fell pregnant, and she come up, and then you're like, oh, I actually like living up here now. It's weird. It's weird. I moved around my whole career, but I was done with moving around really. So that was the first 6 months. We ended up finishing 10th, I think. And then the next season, comeback pre-season, Sharp was at it. Gaffer pulled us all and said, instead we play 3-5-2 with the overlapping defenders. Said, we're going to play with 1 deep liar and 2 8s. And I'm thinking, I don't think this system. What am I going to do here? I'm a winger who's now converted into a 10. What am I going to do? So play pre-season, but when you play pre-season, you're against lesser teams. I was comfortable in the 8. I was comfortable. Got to, I think, a game before the start of the season, I just said, look, Gaffer, you've got better players in the 8. I'm not really settled up here as it is. Would you let me go out on loan? And he said, no, you've been brilliant. And I was good. I was good pre-season, but like I say, we're playing Doncaster in League 2. We're a really good championship team. So you're going to look good in the 8. He's not going to play me against Grealish. I'm going to get run rings round. It's not my position. So in the end, a week later, he just decided. He just said, "All right, I can tell you're not settled. You don't want to be up here really. I'll let you go on loan." That's when I went to Oxford with Carl Robinson. Went back with Carl. So it was them 2 managers that I was flicking in between. So I didn't piss him off that much at Charlton. He must have still liked me. So he took me to Oxford, and 3 games in, Chris Wilder started playing with a 10, didn't he? I was fucking
you must have been. You must have been fuming.
I was back home. I got to move in with my missus in High Wycombe. Was at Oxford, and I loved it there. I loved it, Oxford. Great club. Was playing out my skin again. I was happy. I was near enough home. And then I had the dreaded back injury. Slipped the discs. Had like a crack. Like it was horrendous. And that was it. That was pretty much the end of my full-time playing career. I was out for 2 years, didn't run for 2 years. We have been the only saving grace. We got promoted to the Prem.
Yeah.
So back up north, and they got promoted to the Prem, which like you can say you were part of. I was contracted and all that. Like, obviously, I didn't play that season, but I was in there. Do you know what I mean? It was a shame. It was coming up to COVID. So yeah, back operation because you have to wait 8-9 months. You have to have loads of injections. Then you wait. Then you have a back operation. Got promoted to the Prem. Was nearly back fit. First day out on the grass, the gaffer come up to me and said, "I've got one shirt left, one shirt number because you get 26-man squad in the Prem. I'll get you a Premier League appearance." This was in the October, November, December. Go and get in January. Go and get your career going again. Go out and play games. We're in the Prem now. I said, if you can get me the Prem appearance, fantastic. First day out on the grass, I've done the same thing but on the other side.
Yeah.
No.
I've been out for a whole year and done exactly the same injury the other side now. So then I had to go through all the protocol, injections, blah, 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 another operation. And then, after not playing for 2 years, now I'm 33. I was never the player. I went back to Northampton, and that's where I say Pablo, the Spanish geezer, because I'm doing all the English stuff, lift weights, Lord. Not the Spanish way. They do all these bodyweight stuff, and he got me back fit within 3 months.
Wow.
And I look at him and I just think, what if I was with him before? Not saying the physios at Sheffield, they're brilliant. And I look at all the other lads, it didn't work for me, but all the other lads were robust. They were at it. It was just, I couldn't get fit under them, went to Pablo and he managed to get me fit. That happens.
Yeah.
So they're brilliant physios, but Pablo just got me back fit. Played a few games for Northampton in League One. Weren't as good as I was before, obviously. He needed to free up some money to get in a defender, the manager, and I only had a short-term contract. So then I went to my boyhood club, Southend, and got relegated. I had back-to-back relegations that year. Should have retired. Retired at Sheffield United. Yeah, both clubs got relegated, and that's when I come to Farnborough because I realised I can't train full-time no more. Shame it's too early because I'm still fit, but that's when I come to Farnborough and still going.
How did that come about then? Did Spencer come to you?
No, Sam Deering.
Oh.
So Southend were messing around with a deal, trying to get me to sign. Phil Brown loved me. Was like, I know I love Phil Brown as well, an old school manager. That's who I really got on with the best throughout my career. And just because there's no bullshit, it's just straight.
Yeah.
This is how it is. Like, there's no reading between the lines. All this new philosophy and the way of talking to each other. It's just do your fucking job. And it's kind of the way I coach as well. And Sam rang. I was like, they're messing around. I met up with Sam, and he was like, "Come down Farnborough, speak to Spencer." I was like, and it's daunting going part time. Of course, it's daunting. I haven't worked for 13, 14 years now properly. Obviously, played football, so it's daunting. I was like, I don't know. They are messing around. Is it time? Is it not? And it's hard work. And in the end, I signed for Farnborough. And I'll be straight with you guys. I tried to go back to Southend. Yeah, because I found it hard to transition. I knew it had to come at some point, but I felt like I still had a little bit in me to play National League. We got relegated. And I missed it. And it was because I wasn't working. I was at home. Mrs. was setting up a cleaning firm, which she's doing really well now. And I had the kids. I had a baby and I had a 1.5, 2-year-old. And I was losing my marbles, mate. Where I was we were only training one day a week. I thought, I wish we were training 3 evenings. Can't hear me, George. Oh no, it was tough. It was tough, and she probably thinks I was an arsehole on that, but I probably was. I was just stuck in limbo. And Sam again to the rescue, said, "Come and work with me." And then since then, I've now got back to what I was doing before, working in part-time football.
You said fair, didn't you? Working with Sam Deering, aren't you?
So,
how long have you and Sam been friends? Are we lives or since
Barnet? We met Barnet.
Since Barnet,
Since Barnet, we met there and then stayed in contact ever since. And he only lives 10 minutes down the road.
Oh, great stuff!
Fantastic.
How's he doing anyway? He's still playing. He
played the Vase final and scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored in that. Yeah, it's too easy for him. Yeah, he fell down too early, but we all know what he's like. He's at Saffron Walden now, so
Yeah.
top lad. You should get him on here, mate. He's funny.
I think that's one we will look forward to. Maybe the both of you.
Yeah, no, I can't spend that. But yeah, and I'm thankful that I did do that. And do you know what I'm thankful? I'm thankful for another injury when I done my knee in the first year that I was at Farnborough.
Yeah, because you turned coach then, didn't you?
That's when I realised, because I never wanted to coach. I used to think, I can't coach these little with their attitude. They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're all prima donnas and all that lot. And then I got into it and I was like, well, I actually really enjoy this. I've since then done my badges and I've loved it. Loved every minute of it. So when I decide to hang the boots up, then it keeps me in the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
That is what life's all about, really. I think you encompass quite a lot of life, really, because you kind of turn a bad situation into something really positive, and look at you now. So yeah, you've done really well to do what you're doing. I know all the lads at Farnborough all think the world of you, and everybody think you love your experiences, and they all can't speak highly enough of you, really, Ricky. So
no, thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate
completely.
that. Yeah, I get good feedback from the boys. So I know I'm doing something right because you can't please. It's hard to please. What we had about 195 players since I've been at the club.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's been many a personality.
I can imagine.
But no, I've always got on with most. Yeah, I would say all the players, and it's a bit easier for me because I've had a career that they want and want to emulate because I come from non-league to get where I got to, and I've got back. It is easier for me, and I understand that because I've experienced it, and I get the respect straight away, which does make it easier. So the higher I go in the coaching system, I've got to find a different way because I haven't got that power because they've done what I've done, if not more. So then you realise if you're a good coach or not, I think.
Yeah. Talking I've only got one more question to ask you, really, Rick, off the top of my head. But we're talking of trying to get out of Farnborough. You ended up at Dover for a bit, didn't you? Can you just tell us a little bit about what happened there and why you left and why you come back?
Yeah, I left because the travelling was getting to me a little bit, and I know everyone's like, Dover's miles away from me as well, but it's not. They trained just before Maidstone, so it's closer.
Yeah.
And I think it was a bit of a power one between me and Spencer. We never actually really spoke. It was like he offered me something at the end of the season. I wanted to see what else was out there because I was now working, and I wasn't playing great towards the end of that season. It was like the travelling was getting to me and blah 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 blah. And I was like, let me see what's out there. And there was a few sniffs and that didn't materialise, which I thought would have materialised, and they didn't. So then Mitch rang me and said, "Come down Dover." I was like, "I'm a bit stuck here. I need something," because I didn't ring Spencer and he didn't ring me. And so I went down there for a week. And if you know me and my coaching style and everything, I want it as professional as I can. That is being first day back to pre-season training. If the bibs are still dirty, I'm going to kick off. Or we had training on the facility on a Thursday for just an hour. So by the time I set up, do a warm up, I've got about half an hour to coach.
Half an hour, let's do whatever.
Yeah. Can you change that for me? We didn't have a kit man. Like, just get one of the fans to see if they can muck in, or we can do it with them or something. Just put a tweet out there or whatever it may be. Didn't have a goalkeeper coach. Put a tweet out there. Is there anyone there? Like, just to make it a bit more professional for them boys coming in who have had a bad time because they were in a bit of a free fall. Yeah, and it went on deaf ears, mate. And fortunately for me, and unfortunately for them probably, that they'd offered me a contract and didn't make me sign it. Which I was like, I can dip my toe here and have a look because I knew it might have been a bit of a shit show, but can I change that? And I like that challenge. Nah, there was no changing it in the week. In the week, they'd done the same to
a few lads that he went to Dulwich, didn't he? After
there's another one as well. It was like they thought we'd signed because we had verbally said yeah, all right. And it was hard for me because I'm really close with Mitch. It was hard for me to tell him like, look, this ain't for me. I can't do this. Is good. We're both on for a good hiding here, and it ain't gonna look good because there's nothing we can do. Like, it's a big club, but there's no professionalism there, and we had no budget, and it was going to be difficult. And I wouldn't shy away from that, but it was just the things that I'd asked to do weren't monetary. It was, can you change that for professionalism and make it a better, happier place for the players and myself? And they went on deaf ears, and it was, I rang Turner. Can you be the middleman?
So is he your agent now, is he?
He rang me and was like, we need you back. Pre-season's been a bit of a farce, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I want to come back. But Spencer ain't rang me, and Spencer would be like, well, Rick didn't ring me. And then we had a phone call. It was like, yeah, I was like, we'd never left. Like, it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah, because I know when it happened, when you left for Dover, there was a lot of the fans, because you're loved by so many fans at the club. There was so many like upset fans and unhappy fans that you left to Dover, and then all of a sudden you come back, and then that was it. It was like the king of returns. You know what I mean?
But no, I think probably appreciate. I don't think might not be the right words, but I don't think me and Spencer appreciate what we've done for each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until it was gone. So like, he'd had pre-season, and it weren't going as well as it did the last season when I was coaching. And then I've gone to another club and didn't realise how well run Farnborough was.
Yeah.
So he missed the way I was coaching and being around the boys, and I missed Farnborough as a whole, because I thought every non-league club must be like that now. We're 2023, 2024, whatever. Like, every club must be the same, but it weren't. So I think we both realised that we'll come together, and what's not broke, like, don't fix it, as they say, innit? So
no, exactly,
I think that's where it come back, and yeah, I'm still here after last season, and hopefully we can go one better this season.
Into the fourth season, of course.
Yeah, it was a five-year plan, so he better give me another year off next year.
Fingers crossed.
I think he will at the minute. He will at the moment. You're playing really well. You obviously you're club's top scorer at the moment as well.
Yep. Repeat that again. What was that, Connie?
club top scorer, Ricky Holmes.
Yeah, no, it's been a good start to the season. Just got to stay injury free. Obviously, at 37, it gets a bit harder, and I've always had injuries anyway. But I don't shy away from a tackle or putting my body on the line. So
I mean, look at the goal against Chippenham, the second one.
Yeah,
we worked in the pudding.
Yeah, I'll take full credit for that. No, we do.
What about the first, the screamer?
Yeah, that was off my bunion, so I don't know if I can take credit for that one. No, we work really hard, and Steve Baker, since he's come in, I think that's why I'm playing better now, because I haven't got to take every single session. And when you're a player coach and you're concentrating on, I don't know, say 15 other people, you forget about yourself. And now since Steve's come in and he coaches the boys, I can think about myself a bit more and stay fit. And I don't even get involved in the sessions now. We'll speak what sessions to do, but then I'll do with Steve like the tactical, the pressing, and the in-play stuff when it all comes down. So I've got my fitness working, then I'll step in and do the tactical stuff with him, and it seems to work. I miss taking sessions, but whilst I'm still playing, I find it better that I just get involved. And
the management team's probably I think that's probably the best I think it's ever been at Farnborough since I've been a fan.
Yeah,
you got yourself there. Spencer obviously is fantastic, and you got Steve Baker and Neil Baker as well. And I mean, they're all great football people, aren't they? You know, and they're all singing off the same hymn sheet. They're all going and still traveling in the same direction as well. So it's.
I think in terms of like archetype of manager, you've almost got something sort of, or like coach, you've got something covered of each member.
Yeah, you definitely need Neil to calm down Spencer. That's been the biggest one.
Really?
He's a calming influence on everybody, and
he is really relaxed, isn't he? He's got loads of experience as well, and he loves the club as well, doesn't he? So
he does, and he's top guy, like one of the best I've come across, and got so much respect for him. And I think that's what it is. The boys respect the whole staff, so we will respect them back, and it's a great unit. And hopefully, if it continues the way we're going, then it'll be a successful season.
Yeah, it'll be so.
We hope so.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I think for everyone, every fan, I think this season they're saying that we're good enough now to go that one step further and go for the playoffs this season.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we don't, I think we fail.
Yeah,
because I think we've got a better squad this year, a more balanced squad.
Yeah.
Bit more experience where we needed. And if we can stay fit, obviously we're going to have injuries. Look, we have not even seen
Yeah. I think
Mason and stuff like that. So
I think what we've also done as well is what we haven't done in the past is we've kept a good core group of players on from the season before.
Yeah.
And then added the right quality and the right players to that.
Yeah, obviously it would have been nice to keep a couple from last year, but people move on and
it
was a successful time with us. But we kept the core that me and the management team, we always say we were the best team in February. That's a good achievement. So why would you change so much? You don't need to.
Yeah.
And we won't get it right every now and again, or we'll have a poor game like we did against Welling. But for the majority of the time, at this level, you can lose 6-7 games and still have a successful season because everyone beats everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it? It's definitely the South is definitely a tough league this year, and without Yeovil being in it as well, I don't think there's really a real standalone team that are going to probably win it.
Maybe Boreham Wood, but I still don't think they're quite going to do it like others.
I still think you'll have your Boreham Wood, your Dawkins, and your Torquay will be up there.
Yeah, Maidstone as well.
These boys, you think we're rolling in our steel toe caps for night games? They've done it right, and they've come from a hotel and nice food. It makes a huge difference. I've been there.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference over 46 games. On the day, you might match them that day, but over 46 games, it will take its toll. Otherwise, no one would be full time because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Cheaper,
absolutely.
So you wouldn't have professional football. So there's obviously huge, because you think I've got an hour and a half to coach the boys. They've all been at work, so they're knackered. I've got to fit in an element of fitness, an element of ball work and tactical stuff in an hour and a half. They've got 10 hours a week to do whatever they want. They can have 20 hours a week if they went 30 hours a week. So over the season, it becomes difficult to compete with these sides, but we'll give it a good go, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Have we got anything from the fans, Al? Any questions?
No, unfortunately not.
No, sorry, mate.
I had one from a friend. My friend Kieran, shout out Kieran, legend. He wanted to know sort of just in sort of all aspects, just what is between. Obviously, you played the Championship, playing against Jack Grealish of the world, and you played Step 3 for Farnborough and the National South for Farnborough. What is the sort of the biggest difference, especially sort of? It's in the similar sort of time, the more recent years of the higher level football you played. What is the most noticeable difference between those divisions?
Decision making. The higher you go, the better decisions they make. So again, if you make all the correct decisions, ability wise, obviously there's a big gulf between your big clubs and your Step 3, but they make better decisions the majority of the time, which is easier when your teammate's making the right decision, he's making the right decision, because you're all on the same path and you're all in the right position to make the right decision. It's huge. It's huge because if you give the ball away in the Championship or above, you get punished because they're that good, they're that quick, and decision making. That would be as like a person or a tactical thing, but for me, I found was how quick everyone was when you go above the championship and above. It's frightening because I was always quick and a ball carrier and breeze past people in League 1 and League 2 like they weren't there. Get to Championship, everyone's as quick as you. Everyone's stronger than you, and you would have to adapt your game because you're not just breezing past them. You've now got to think, right, 2-touch here. Now's my time to take them on, and that was the big difference, the dynamic of players at the top level. And that goes with saying, I was lucky enough when I was at Oxford, so only 4 or 5 years ago, we played Man City. And I'd always played well against like the Stoke when they had Hoof, Shawcross and all that lot. I played against a few of that mid-table Premier League teams. When you play against the big boys, it's mental. How quick, the way their ball speed, their touch. They're athletes before footballers. Because John Stones wouldn't be that quick. I put it for his legs, went to run around the other side. He ran past me, took the ball away from me, made me look stupid, and ran the other way. And that's John Stones, where you'd think he'd be the slowest out the group. And I was a professional athlete as well, but they're freaks, as you say. They're proper athletes. Foden scored his first ever goal. David Silva, everyone played apart from
David Silva.
Yeah, they all played. So yeah, playing against them elite. I played against Arsenal as well when they had Arshavin and all that lot for Barnet. Them two teams stood out in my career, and it was because of their decision making and how dynamic they were.
Yeah, it's really
wow.
You think it's a bit harsh of them to start those players against Oxford as well. I think
we actually done all right until Jesus scored in the 44th minute it was, and then that was it. They were a joke, mate. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it does show, doesn't it? It's something I tried that Tom asked. It was something I was going to ask you as well. So about the differences. What have you found differences in the way clubs are run, being professional and full time as opposed to a part time outfit? So I know we've had Spencer on a few weeks back, and he's I think you might not be able to say too much about it, but I know it's something that I think the club are looking to maybe go down the full time route in the near future, the very near future. I think
we can't even put a coach on for us. We have to
drive That's all right though. You were saying off air that you're sharing this with Chinny and
Reggie. Yeah, so
you basically got your own little coach going already, haven't you?
Yeah. They'll bore me by Christmas, mate. I'll have to get some new company.
Spring something.
The difference between the clubs, obviously, you're in full time, you're getting well fed, you're getting looked after, and it's the stayovers. So you're anything over. Some clubs is 2 hours, some clubs is 2.5 hours. So anything over 2.5 hours, the majority of the clubs you'd stay over. So, or if you were a Southern club, so you'd always train on a Friday and leave, but you'd get stuck in traffic sometimes. So if it was a longer journey, so if it was say 4 or 5 hours, you would get on a coach in the morning and you would travel up, and say you were playing Sheffield United, you would train at Barnsley's training ground once they had finished.
Yeah.
So you're already up there. You miss the traffic. So that's probably the biggest difference. Like, you're not going down to Torquay on the day. You're not going anywhere that far on the day, and you're definitely not driving.
Yeah.
So you get on a swanky coach. You'd go up. You'd stay over. Everything would be laid on. You'd have a right laugh in the hotel. Usually it'd be a Friday night football on.
Yeah.
You'd have your dinner. You get up in the morning. I used to always go swimming before dinner on a Friday to get the coach journey out my legs. A lot of people did. Some clubs made it mandatory, but I always did anyway. And then you get up on the Saturday. All the ones who didn't have kids would have a lay until about 12. Would all be up with the kids having breakfast, and then you'd have pre-match and go to the ground. And that's where you got to give testament to Farnborough, because we get in early on match days and they feed us. Not many part-time clubs do that, so they're trying to do it that way. But we do drive everywhere, Spencer.
I remember last season, didn't we? When was it Truro that we played, and even Spencer was like almost late.
Was it Western-super-Mare?
That was a Bath game, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, we all got stuck. We was all stuck on the motorway, weren't we? The late kick. We were good that day, though. We'd do that more often.
Yeah, you did 2-0. Yeah, that was a good result.
I stood on the motorway for about 2 hours.
Yeah. I was thinking about going down there, and I saw the road was shut. I saw that, and then I thought,
air ambulance and all that lot. So, but that's probably just the difference, the stayovers, and I'm sure some of the teams, Boreham Woods and that, they'll be staying over.
Yeah,
I know Dorking went down to.
Dorking went to Truro the night before, didn't they? And they trained at another club.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So because they're full time, they're trying to do it professionally. So
Torquay stayed over for our game and all when they played us. Yeah, they stayed over. Yeah.
Big advantage, isn't it?
Where were they staying?
I don't know. I think probably Aviator or something.
I should have got the fireworks out outside.
It didn't matter, Tom, did it? We won anyway.
Yeah. That's it. But over the season, like I said, 46 games, that 11, it's a advantage, 100%.
Makes difference.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, good stuff. Right.
Well, look, I think we're going to have to call it an end there. Ricky, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on and talking about your career, and it's been absolutely wonderful to hear. So thanks for coming on, and thanks for agreeing to do this. And we'll have you back on later on in the season, maybe.
Yeah, of course. No, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ricky. Yeah, you got into loads of
to
detail
do-
about your career as well. So you've even mentioned names that I still remember as well. So there's always a
Yeah. Might have to do part 3 episodes in this, wouldn't you? Split it up.
Yeah,
split it up.
It's my age. It's not because I'm waffling. It's because I've got many years. All right.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
But they're good stories. Well, we might get you on again. We'll maybe delve into the dressing room a little bit, and you can tell us a little bit about some of the boys. I know you said about Friday night football.
I can definitely do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh.
I know you mentioned about Friday night football. I mean, you got no chance of getting Jack Turner watching any football, have you? He hates it.
No chance. No chance. More rugby
Right.
because the ball looks like his head.
Yeah.
Did he lose a bet with that haircut, by the way?
It was windy, I think. Torquay away or something.
Take
Windy.
it off.
Right. Don't go away.
Cheers, lads.
Don't go away don't go away too soon. We'll chat when we finish. But yeah, that's the end of the episode, guys. Say good night.
Good night,
good
guys.
night.
Thank you, Ricky. What a legendary career.
Right,
Honour
mate.
to have you on our platform.
And yeah, don't forget to mention the sponsor, Anna.
Yes, definitely. This episode has been sponsored by Tritech Consulting, taking your business visions and turning them into innovative reality. For more information, visit tritechconsulting.co.uk. And that's it. Good night from us, and we'll be back next week, I think, with a new podcast. Good night.